Good night. Good night, Sir Martin, and welcome to your favorite internet online radio talk show program, www.sxmtalk.com. Of course, I'm your host, Christopher Emmanuel. I don't want you guys to get upset or, feel that we are not being consistent, but we are working on so many things in the studio. I had a maestro keep telling me a while ago, let's go, let's go. The program is about to start. People are waiting and stuff. But we seem to be having some issues that we had with sticking and, the broadcast. And so we really diligently trying to work on it, trying to get it fixed and get it sorted out. I think we have identified the problem. It's going to take us some time to get it solved because it has to do with the output that we need to push the program across. And the reason for that is that we simply never thought that we would have reached such a large listening audience that now we need much more bandwidth. However, that's no excuse. We're still going to try our best to be here, but that's the reason why we have been late starting, because we do start 8:30 the last couple of days, and then people will say I'm robbing them because I'm not starting 8:30 and then I'm finishing 9:30. I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to make it up to you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to have a pretty hot, interesting program for you tonight because we're going to be talking about TELEM letter that is sent out. I'm getting an echo for some reason. I don't know. But, yeah. We're going to be talking about an apology letter that TELEM sent out. We're going to be talking about the now Minister of Rum, William Marlin's letter concerning the Causeway. And we'll also be talking about a few more issues that went on today. Because, the thing is, right, first of all, let me say good night. Let me say, call a friend, tell someone to log on because the program going to be a bit testy. I'll be taking off maybe a glove or two. Because, listen, now even more, I believe that something is definitely wrong at TELEM. Definitely wrong at TELEM, right? Now I'm even more eager, more hype, more ready to get involved in whatever the people of St. Martin find necessary to do to deal with this Causeway issue. Because when you listen to the information coming out, clearly you can see some sort of deals and underhanding works went on somewhere, right? But I want you to bear with me a bit because I so want to pull up this article from TELEM, this letter that TELEM sent out apologizing to the people for not having their bills, for not, providing that service that we are paying for. Let me say this off the back. TELEM, your apology is not accepted. Let me tell you that, especially from my person. Listen, I am gathering so much information on TELEM, so much information I'm gathering right now on TELEM, right? I am going to talk to the members of parliament. I'm going to talk to the minister responsible to launch an inquiry, an investigation on what is going on to TELEM. And I can tell you this, I already have a few ears listening because it's outrageous. And then now, you come with this apology, hoping that the people should be quiet, should be good. And this is the reason why I said the last time that Helma have to go. Listen, right? You realize that this billing system TELEM is talking about cost the company up to the excess of 3 million. Listen, people, listen to me good. Listen to me good. $3 million. $3 million. This billing system cost TELEM. But they didn't put that, they did not put that in their apology yesterday. They didn't put it in their apology yesterday. And there's a part in the letter what really got me testy, really. When they said people should put some money aside. I mean, people should put some money aside. You think people got time to be putting money aside knowing that you're going to send a bill? You need to explain to people, tell them how you plan to deal with people settling their accounts and their bills. Because when you get your system up to par, when you get your system up and running, tell them, don't think you're going to send a bill to individuals out there for the past couple of months that you couldn't get your system up and running, that you couldn't get your system fixed, and people must come in and pay the last 2-3 months at once. I hope that is not the intentions of TELEM. You better try to sort it out in a way where people can pay it in terms, because it is not their fault that you gone erroneously, carelessly, being irresponsible, spending money while to put in a new billing system. First of all, you never really explained to the people what was wrong with the first billing system. But I got some news for you, TELEM. I got some information that I'm receiving from inside of TELEM. Because you figure, no, you know what? You figure that nobody don't know what is going on. Okay? You figure nobody knows what is going on. All right? Listen, St. Martin is a small community. All right? And people just talk. And everybody know that something fishy. Something fishy going on in TELEM. I want to ask management, because I ain't dealing no more with the workers and stuff. Those people them have my utmost respect. Okay? Those people them got my utmost respect. Who I want to deal with is management of TELEM. Because TELEM's problem is not the workers who are going to be sending home, making agreements with, trying to pay out. That's not TELEM problem now. TELEM problem is that top management. The CFO, the CEO, the COO, all those C's and O's and F's, all those guys, each and every one, listen, from Helmer, Mingo, the rest of them, gots to go. Gots to go. I want to read this apology. Okay? I want to read this apology that TELEM sent out. And this is why the St. Martin people, how did us treat us? Okay? How did us treat us? How did us view us? All right? TELEM is downsizing. They don't have no money. Okay? But before I go there, I want to ask TELEM this question. Have you made a deal with Digicel as yet? Have you made a deal with Digicel as yet? The red color that you painted the buildings and the vehicles and stuff, what does that mean? We want to know what is going on in TELEM. Okay? First of all, are you ripping off people with a turnover tax? That's the first thing. Ripping off people with a turnover tax. I need to talk to my boy Kendall to find out who are the members on TELEM board. Because TELEM board, right? I don't want to speak about them as yet. Because it's impossible you guys could be sitting on a board and you're not watching what is going on. But let me read this apology that TELEM came out with. This is a headline. This is it. TELEM bills delayed. Company apologizes. TELEM Group issued an apology today to its customers who are still awaiting delivery of their TELEM landline and Telcel mobile bills for March and April. The company said that due to final transfer of TELEM's group's old billing system, the new billing system, customers were being asked to wait a little longer to receive their most current landline and mobile bills. During the final stages of implementation of configuration of the new billing software, we have to properly synchronize many different components of the landline and mobile networks. We are currently doing this with the assistance of a billing company responsible for installation and delivery. The company stated in a release on Tuesday, we have received numerous inquiries from customers about their current bills, which we regret to say are not yet ready for delivery. We take this opportunity to apologize to all TELEM and Telcel customers for the delay and assure them that they will receive their current bills as soon as their bills have been processed by the new billing software. And I continue. TELEM said installation of its billing software had been very complicated and time-consuming process, and the company had made it a priority to cause the least impact possible to customers during the installation, testing, and now configuration state. I want to know, how are you doing that? How are you making it least possible or least hurtful for the customers? Let me continue. The company said customers should put, listen, this is what got me so upset. This is what got me so angry with their apology. Huh? You ain't talking that what you're going to give the customers. You know what, let me finish read it first. The company said customers should put funds aside while waiting to make their telecommunication payments to avoid possible payment problems once bills are finally processed and delivered. Man, look, hey, listen. When fully installed, TELEM Group's new billing software will offer several beneficial features to customers, including 1, bill for various services, the ability for customers to print out their own statements, and later, the ability to order services and change packages online. Who the hell cares? That is not what people want. In conclusion, another important feature of the new billing software will be the opportunity to report service requests and make payments online. Let me reverse a little bit and go back up a little bit. The company said customers should put funds aside while waiting to make their telecommunication payments to avoid possible payment problems once bills are finally processed and delivered. Tell them, are you completely out of touch with the reality of St. Martin people's feelings? Or you simply don't care? Who can put money aside? How long must we be putting money aside? St. Martin people don't have money to be putting aside because of the cost of living. Something always comes up. This is the reason why people of St. Martin does budget. Okay? This is the reason why they are running into TELEM to pay. Because they know that things comes up. You're not talking and saying, look, listen, because of this, we understand the burden, right? You're going to get 50 credits or 25 credit or so much free miles. I mean, what are you giving the customer for their suffering? Tell them, what are you doing? But you know what? You're talking about they must put money aside so that they wouldn't get in problems. I would like to see how TELEM going to solve this. Because if you're going to send a bill for someone to pay 3 months because your billing system that you spent in the excess of $3 million for, then I am saying TELEM management is reckless, careless, okay, in the functioning of this company. But you know what? I have some more information that I want to ask TELEM. Okay? I have some more information that I want to ask TELEM. All right? And then when I'm done, I'm coming to the board of directors of TELEM, that board. Okay? Here's my question, and I'm going to submit these questions to you, TELEM. Since every time I go in and I ask for a bill, I ask for what the turnover tax is. Why are you charging turnover tax? Why you have additional charges? Since I just tell me, write to management. But nobody could tell you who in management to write to. Nobody could tell you nothing. Okay? TELEM also seems to be coming like another cartel. Secretive. Nobody could get information from TELEM. They feel they can do what they want to do. Just like how the harbor is. Just like how the harbor is. But then again, we need to ask these fundamental questions. Who is the head of the harbor? Who he be? Who he be? What he name? What he name? It's a Mingo, right? Who's one of the managers heading TELEM? What is his name? Who he be? Another Mingo. You see what happened? Listen, TELEM, I got this question for you. As you indicated, I believe that we have about 8 million guilders growing on the road, pending to be collected. TELEM can't touch it yet. Okay? Because they can't send out no bills. My question, since they got this amount of money on the road, who's accountable for it, TELEM? Huh? Who's accountable for it? This billing project that you got going on, TELEM, is 2.5 years. 2.5 years this billing project is ongoing. No bills in sight. Who's accountable for that? Okay? The billing manager. Who is the billing manager of TELEM? Because I was told you have been working on this process for the past 2.5 years now. Everlasting project. Okay? The chief financial officer come to find out that that's Miguel Helmer, who wouldn't return on my calls. All right? But trust you me, you're going to call me one day. Okay? I am trying to find out what is going on in TELEM that they can't level with the people. Nobody know what is going on. All right? Monies are being spent left, right, and center with no sort of accountability. $3 million for a billing system. What was wrong with the old one? What was wrong with the old billing system? Listen, I'm going to dedicate a whole program to TELEM because I'm working on some facts. I'm going to write an article. I'm going to present it to the minister because we need an investigation in these companies. Somebody head need to roll. Somebody head need to roll. I got that, you see? When you ask people for something, they'll send it for you. They'll send it for you. I just got it. TELEM's Group Board of Directors. All right, I just get it. Chairman, Mr. Raphael Boseman. Vice Chairman, Paul Marshall. Member, Jairo Bloom. Member, Stephen Constance. Member, Kendall Duprosoy. Well, you see all you guys need to get together in a board meeting and truly, truly find out what is going on in TELEM. What is going on in TELEM? Okay? TELEM, your apology is not accepted. It is not accepted. All right? What are the incentives that you're giving to the people for this suffering, for this hardship, for this terrible service? What are the incentives? What are the people getting back? Huh? What are the people getting back? 8 million guilders on the street. You can't collect. But you're talking that people must put money aside? Huh? $3 million for a billing system. And these are the kind of thing that goes on. I mean, you see the kind of money that these companies are making on St. Martin people? The kind of money similar to GB making in the excess of 20-something million. Listen, this government better get serious with the people's business. Better get serious. Okay? I was looking through my constitution, but I think I'm going to leave Jules James' tirade for tomorrow because I want to get my facts straight. I should have been more prepared now. But the excitement in Parliament today, right, really, really threw me off my game that I came here without my information. Because Jules James made a whole, you should have seen the emotional outburst. And I saying to myself, the audacity of some people. What happened? Many people want to know what happened today when there was a Parliament meeting going on and Jules James was the one deciding that William Allen can't be inside, William Allen must leave, because William Allen walked in, signed in, and went and he took his seat. And Jules James decided Article 51, Article 53, you can't be a member of this, you can't be a member of that. He's right. He's right. But like I said, tomorrow, I'm going to deal with this issue. Because you remember, St. Martin, when I talk about pulling the wool over our face? I'm going to read something for you guys tomorrow, God's spare. And you're going to see that we have politicians in this country that tell the people of St. Martin only what they want them to know. Only what they want them to know. This is why I encourage us to read. Get a copy of your Constitution and read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Okay? So I'm going to leave that issue. I'm going to leave that topic. Because I want to get the good information on it. Because I had it circled, I had it written down, but I forgot my Constitution. And it is something that I always walk with. But I took it out to find the information for myself because I said I have to bring that program on tonight. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go back to the newspapers of today. And I want to really address us on this Causeway issue. All right? When I said that St. Martin, country, island, and its people have suffered hardship, in my opinion, when Hurricane Lewis devastated this island. St. Martin people suffered. They went through hardship. But you know what? It was a time that we all bonded and we came together. But there was another time when St. Martin people, in a short period of time, really felt the pinch. Really, really suffered. And I'm saying to myself, and I'm saying to others, it is one of the worst things that have happened to this country. That's when the up got into government. Because they really was tearing this country apart, raping this country for themselves. Listen, eating it up. I don't think people understand fully what the former Deputy Prime Minister T.A. Heidegger was doing to this country. He was shredding this country apart for himself. Simply and only because of greed. Because of greed. I want to read, I don't even think I want to read the full extent of the article because it is lengthy. Right? But I want to address the now Minister of VRUM with some positive points. And I also want to be a bit hard on him. Marlin, Causeway will stop if possibility exists to do so. Don't come out and say things in the paper to pacify St. Martin people, to make us feel a bit at ease if you know it can't be done, Minister. Level with St. Martin people. Listen to me. I want to address the Deputy Prime Minister. But before addressing the Deputy Prime Minister, I also want to address our Prime Minister, Sarah Westcott Williams. You see what is going on here now? You see this partnership? You see this coalition? This is how it had to be from the beginning. And if you guys can't learn to work for the country and put aside your egos, come next election, both of you guys, the people are going to vote out. Because St. Martin, people have had enough of the bitterness, of the fighting. Look around the country, Prime Minister. Look around the country that you're the Prime Minister of. Talk to people. And I know that you're doing it. I know that you're getting the response. I know that you're getting the replies. I know that you're getting the remark. People are saying they feel better. People are saying, we're glad that it's this way now. Prime Minister, I know because I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. People want you to be more involved. Deputy Prime Minister, I know that you're hearing the remarks also. People feel relieved. They feel relieved. And by them feeling relief, they want relief. Don't make idle statements in the newspaper and get people all riled up and feel that something can be done. But by saying that though, St. Martin, I'm going to say this. If you want this causeway to stop, make all your voices heard and let it be known that you want it stopped, that you don't want it there. Don't expect us to be doing it all the time and are you sitting down comfortably. Get up off of your couches and your chairs and start talking, speaking, rallying, coming together. Start it. St. Martin, we cannot afford to let politicians and government run a mockery in our country because they are government and they feel they can do what they want. That is what happened to the Deputy Prime Minister, outgoing or gone. He felt that the country was his backyard, so he can do what he wants with it. We need to send him a resounding message. You hear he's coming back with a vengeance, then come back. But you know what? We're dealing with the issues now. I read the article with enthusiasm. I read the article with bitter feelings because we don't want it to reach a point where it could be, oh, well, then there's nothing we can do. No. Minister William Marlin, please exhaust all legal possibilities, all environmental possibilities, all social possibilities, all community possibilities, not to allow the continuation of this causeway. Let me read the article that William Marlin had in the paper today. And it states, Marlin, causeway will stop if possibility exists to do so. Says, shift in priorities coming. Minister of Infrastructure William Marlin said on Wednesday that if the possibility exists for government to put a stop to the Causeway project, I would recommend the government to stop it. Well, Minister William Marlin, you're part of the government. You're the government. Because the people of St. Martin voted overwhelmingly for the National Alliance, giving them 7 seats. So you carry a large part of being government. However, he quickly clarified that if stopping the project meant serious hot water for St. Martin, then one would have to evaluate that. You see the sort of put us up on a high, then bring us down on a low? That's why I'm saying, don't say things to make us feel good and then it is not the reality. Let's go on. Marlin said during the Council of Ministers press briefing that too many people had voiced objections to the project, and in his opinion, the money would have been better spent had it been spread over the finalizing of several link roads that would offer real traffic alleviation. He said he had not been able to ascertain whether former Minister Tia Heidegger had signed off on the project and its related contracts, and added that development was shrouded in secrecy. But, I mean, we all have been asking these questions. And there was nothing been said about the Causeway. Nothing. There's no billboard. There's nowhere where we can get information. Why is government getting involved with private ownership and land? What are they getting from it? Okay? Let me continue reading. With definitely no transparency to it, Marlin said, Parliament had not been offered the opportunity to have its say on the project or vote on it. He added that decision-making probably had been kept from the Council of Ministers as well. When asked what his alternative vision would be for traffic alleviation in Simpson Bay area, Marlin first pointed out that the Causeway would only move congestion from Simpson Bay to Cold Bay, considering there was no side roads planned on the Cold Bay side of the Causeway to alleviate the traffic. Now, Minister Marlin, since there are no sideways planned, what plan are you talking about? Is there a plan for the Causeway? Have that plan been produced? Because we want to see. Is there something that you know that we don't know? He goes on to say, he then mentioned a reorganization of traffic rules, such as the area of the movies, where motorists exit right and left on Welfare Road, and finalizing links as to outline in the comprehensive road network plan. Now, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff inside of it with slack and this and that. And I'm going to stop there. Why are you going to stop there? Let me read this piece also. Let me read this piece. Marlin said clarity was needed on whether the land issued with Port-au-Plaisance had been resolved. He said the grapevines indicated how certain things had been done to evade. Listen to this. Listen to this. Then you need to start launching an investigation on the minister outgone, the former minister, Tia Heidegger. Launch an investigation on him. Listen to this part. He said the grapevine indicated how certain things had been done to evade the normal decision-making process. Maintenance is another issue Marlin said needed to be looked at, citing the size and usage of the bridge, project, and the height maintenance fees that could accumulate. He questioned whether tolls would be called for a pointed out that any toll would have to be significant to cover the cost of the maintenance to prevent the causeway from falling into disrepair. Well, nothing ain't going to fall into disrepair. There's not going to be no tolls because we don't want the causeway, and you have an obligation to work. Since many people have been voicing their objections to the Causeway Bridge, St. Martin people do not want it. We don't want it. You know, St. Martin, we need to start, St. Martin people, we're going to be playing some tapes on this program to show you where we were, how far we came to where we are today. St. Martin people, we need to get serious with things that is going on and happening in our country. We need to get serious. And let me say this to everybody out there who are scared and who afraid, right? If you don't want to stand up for yourself because you're afraid, you're scared, stand up for your child, for your son, for your daughter, for your niece and your nephew and your grandchildren. Because if this is how St. Martin is now, imagine what they're going to inherit. Imagine what they're going to inherit. Listen to me, right? Listen. I'm not picking on no family. I'm not saying that I have a hatred. I'm not causing division. No, I'm not doing those things. That's not my intention. My intention is to bring about awareness for us to wake up. I was having a discussion with some friends, and we also had a member of parliament involved in the discussion. And he made a remark and said, imagine on a 16 square mile side of the island, talking about the Dutch part of the island, 16 square miles, that today you have one guy fighting the estate of his father, and he's saying that his portion of the estate is valued at $70 million. I want you to understand where I'm coming with this, St. Martin people, because we think it's funny. We think it's a joke, and we think that, oh yeah, you know, these people and them so love. He is saying that his portion is $70 million from the estate. 16 square miles island. So if his portion is valued at $70 million, can you imagine the value of the whole estate? And then one need to ask the question, goodness gracious, how did they manage to make such, what's the word, such enormous amount of money on a 16 square mile island? But pensioners are crying out for 200 guilders and children going to school hungry. Man, if we don't find something wrong with that, then we have no conscience. It is unfair. And you get into office and you still want to rake and scrape, and you're building a causeway because of a campaign promise. A blinking campaign promise to who? A campaign promise to who? You also promised that there would be no school fees. You also promised free internet. You also promised a better life for St. Martin people. Those things you promised also. So we are idiots? Huh? You evade the normal way of doing things. Where are the permits? What's the deal with the Port de Plaisance land? It's private property. How you could take government money and make a deal with a private owner? What are we getting back? But that's not what's wrong, St. Martin. That's not what is bad. That's not what is sad. What is that we sit back and we do nothing about it. We allow it to happen. And then we mumble in our corners. And then you know what? We all going to stand up in a line come 2014 again and vote for the same gentleman. Let me repeat myself. One person is saying that their portion of the estate is valued $70 million. Just one person. 70 million. Think about it, St. Martin. And then ask yourself this question. What more do they want? That's what you have to ask yourself. And then you look around the country. Look at you, and then look at them. This is your country too. This is your island too. And you deserve an equal and a fair chance of this sweet St. Martin pie. Not the crust. Even though the crust tastes good. But those little crimbos what does fall off when you bite into the drip off your mouth. Not even that they want to give. Because when they're done, they're licking out the plate. They're putting the pot to the head. And they're draining the sauce. Even the kong they're scraping from the bottom of the pot. Even the kong they're going with. St. Martin people, please. Wake up. Please wake up. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, fine. But do it for your children. Do it for the next generation. We need to save Emilia Wilson Estate. We need to save the Great Salt Pond. We need to save the Simpson Bay Lagoon. We need to save something we need to save for the next generation to admire and fall in love with the beauty of St. Martin. I know you're going to cuss me and say that I steal all your time again. But we have reached to the end of the program. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for logging on. TELEM, you guys don't even know what's coming for you. You don't even know. St. Martin people, take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye. Good night.